Alright, so I've been working on this newer event involving Darth Revan. Just kind of tooling away at it, trying to figure out minimum requirements, and I'm sure somebody could scale down a bit, but here's how I got past a little tier 5. So, it just happened, so I was just gonna pop in. You're gonna see lots of strategy videos. Post a comment if you want any kind of strategy. You're gonna be doing this a few times. The RNG is kind of tricky, especially with everything being robots in Tier 5. I noticed 1 and 3 are pretty similar to where you are using a lot of AoE. 2's not too bad. Last tier is a little tricky. I kind of focused the turrets, but that wasn't working for me. So with what I have and the mods I'm using, and I will show those, I actually spammed, well, tried to coordinate spamming Fear when I couldn't use a Shaco AoE between Bastille and Darth Revan, so, and it literally nuked everything eventually. Uh, fair warning, none of my characters are God Mod or Gear 12, so they're kind of bare minimum. That's about it. So we'll take a look at this. Oh, 1 star. Well, 1 star gets you through it. I believe I could probably run the rest of the way through this, but I'll break this up into a different video when I'm in the mood for that. Tier 5. I've been gearing. I had just tried to hit a minimum paywall on the characters, so was just trying to get past this. From what I've seen from research, tier 6, tier 7, a couple of tries or whatever, just focus on your objective, and basically it's you got him past this point. Tier 5's really the issue, so I'm gonna take a look at. This is exactly the team I just got out of it. Here's the team that's required and what I used, and I'm not going to explain their mods or anything. You can just kind of look at them. Nothing special. Just the only thing I did do was I have 1 Zeta, which I really was avoiding trying to use, but it actually was helpful if you're not planning on carrying this whole squad up to Gear 12. So his Zeta ability was really helpful. It actually kept. That's the only thing that really kept my Sith Empire characters up, and I was never someone that used HK, so he's probably my weakest character. So anyway, so gear 10 on this guy with 3 pieces, mods. Basically, I just focused on speed with my attackers, and I tried to go an even mix of speed and health with Bastille. Sorry, I kind of zoned out. Anyway, alright, let's get into this. So, pretty much I have Carthanasi, crazy geared or anything like that. So, gear 10.5, no god mods, obviously, because he's not Gear 12, and I don't have a bunch of characters that get that far. He is pretty much, for me, I thought he was the MVP. A lot of people are gonna say it was Bastila Fallen, but this guy was the MVP for me. So a lot of people. I think I watched a video where somebody had Ordo knocked down to where they got through it with a whole Gear 12 squad minus this fellow who they left at Gear 7 and really didn't. His abilities aren't insane. So I mean the mods, speed, nothing special. I literally just looked at speed, and if they possibly had tenacity for him, great. I'm sure people can get through this with lesser gear, uh, with better mods, or vice versa. Uh, Gear 10.5, so I will probably put that in the title. I didn't even really mess with too much of his. I guess his dot would have helped, but at this point, he won't be useful. I was just looking at Tier 5. And one thing that threw me off at the beginning, so for a lot of people, you're gonna think it's sticking HK into your leader role, but you can actually switch him out for Darth. Honesty's leadership ability. That's the only leadership ability you should be using on Tier 5. The only reason I'm doing this video slowly, instructionally, I couldn't find a lot of answers as I was struggling through this, so I'm just hoping this is a bit informative from where I was at without being prepared and not trying to break through some kind of paywall or basically I came into this like, oh wow, the event popped up and these guys, I could still throw Omegas on them, but I just kind of went bare bones on the necessary ones, at least for me to get through it, through multiple trials. So here we go. In my opinion, she's okay. She's your only option at tanking. I didn't like her at first, and I talked in one of my first videos about I don't like a stealth tank. But this stealth tanking ability kind of meshes with the fact that she throws the stagger, which I assume the game considers a damage over time ability, to which heals everyone back up and keeps your team going. So really the only two Omegas you need for her. The debuffs help. It's not necessarily, but I thought the debuffs absolutely helped. Otherwise, she's not very, I don't know. I threw health on her just because she was my punching dummy. That was it. There's nothing really special here. Minimum speed, nothing crazy. And then we'll go to the MVPs. Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, Gear 10, I'm like, a piece away from having her Gear 11. I still, like, the mods, nothing crazy. Like, literally focused for her on speed and a bit of health to keep her up. Having that speed, if you have that plus 30 speed mod, definitely put on her. You have 4 days left to slice it and increase the stats based on yours. Great. I went for the speed bonus. That was about it. Oh, yeah, that's fun. And some protection. I just tried to keep her up. I actually I know I just threw it in because I just got through the fight and I was doing a couple of trial runs, recording, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna really put those up. Be more informative. Uh, Honestly, I went into the fight. So I got through round 3, and uh, Karth and the other Anna. I get him confused. Karth and Odyssey. The machine gunner. Both the dudes were down from Old Republic. So I was literally standing with Juhani, HK, and Bastila, and was able to somehow get through it, just A-Link everything. I have everything maxed on her, other than her Zeta, which I would have much rather have had, other than I figured the vent's getting a little close, and I was just getting concerned more with this. Omega's going to save you time, and possibly if you're trying to Zerg it money, just from for me, it's a slightly longer road if you're free to play. I did pay a little money to participate in this event, but I wasn't going all out. Still have HK. The only thing that bumped him up was them redoing his kit, so he's not even gear 10. I think he's actually my lowest gear character on this. Everyone's loving him, but I don't have time to raid that out. So his abilities, I maxed him out. That was about it. So other than seeing the fight, you just don't get too crazy with gear or anything like that. HK, gear 9, almost gear 10. Basically, I would call this a gear 10.5 run, and in my next video, I will demonstrate that past this point, I don't think you need anything crazy geared beyond that, because they just seem like kind of scripted fights, from what I saw from researching 6th and 7th tier. Anyway, bit tired. It is almost 6 a.m. here. I am going to try to bust this out tonight, so just to get over with or whatever. But just kind of wanted to take a pause, take a break, and just right there, that's exactly how I got past tier 5. I know there's really not a lot of information out there about it, so hopefully this was helpful. Sorry if I'm not very entertaining at this time in the morning, listening to classical music, and just a bit tired. Anyway, I will push forward, try to pump myself up for ultimately, hopefully getting Darth Revan before the event ends. Hopefully tonight. So, anyway, I always do Star Wars videos. Please feel free to subscribe, and I'm not doing this, like, I don't do giveaways, crap like that, so just useful information. I browse YouTube channels, I watch Mobile Gamer sometimes for some information, and Anald seem to be the big two, and then Warrior, so I'm familiar with everyone. I just don't do this for monetary purposes, but feel free to subscribe. I guess it wouldn't hurt to get $5 back. So anyway, take care. Thanks for watching.